here called Since We Spoke.
Okay.
But this is the relationship edition, right? Because you've been in a healthy relationship, from my standpoint, for 20 years now. Oh, like maybe 20 plus, right?
It is 20.
20 years, right? And I've been in some bad relationships, you know what I'm saying? So I think with our knowledge together, we may be able to give these celebrities some advice. I don't want to just be up here gossiping. We're not that type of podcast. So-and-so dating someone's, you know what I mean? We don't do that. Let's actually try to help these people out. And the first one that I'm going to bring to the table since we spoke, I don't know if you heard about what's been going on with Kehlani, but basically it was a few weeks ago, her baby daddy, they have a 5-year-old together, came out and was like, Kehlani's in a sex cult, and she's got my 5-year-old daughter around the ringleader who's doing some wild stuff, you know what I'm saying? Go do your research, but basically putting some wild accusations on him. And this was like, and I want full custody. This came out of nowhere. And it was like, people was just like, this is weird. It's just because we
the
never
sex cult piece, or what piece is weird?
I just think the way he went about it.
Okay.
Just filing for custody, then claiming to be a sex cult. But then throwing on like extra stuff, like, I guess, and I don't pay enough attention to Kehlani as an artist, right, who really knows what's going on in her life. But like, I guess this dude is Kehlani, and apologize in advance. I don't know what pronouns you use, Kehlani, and we probably gonna mess them up. But we was born in the 80s.
There you go.
So don't take it personal. But so with that being said, I think Kehlani is bisexual, maybe.
Okay.
And this dude was told that this is a gay dude, but they like a gay friend of hers, and they decided to have a kid together.
Wait. So the dude is gay, but he had a baby with Kehlani?
Yeah, because she didn't want to have a kid, but she isn't necessarily attracted to men anymore.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so she wanted to do it with a friend.
Gotcha.
How they went about it, I don't. Okay. That's for them to know. Homie's like, nah, that ain't true. I ain't gay. Which is like, would you for 5 years you let her call you her gay best friend, and then now it's like, and homie's coming out and saying he ain't gay. Remember, that's an important part of the story. Remember that part. So Kehlani then comes out, talking about lawsuits is about to happen. People is talking about all types of stuff about my name. You know what I mean? Let's get it back. She must have got her lawyers on him, because homeboy came back out and was like, yo, TMZ, took my words and spun them out of control. I didn't say nothing about no cult. I didn't say nothing about this. That. So she got a little shook, right? But then I think he remembered he got receipts. Because the next day, he's like, you know what? Nah. Let me tell y'all how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? And decides like he about to just out them all. He got all types of stuff showing her like as being physically abusive. So basically, he said that, this is what the story came out. I think he lives in her back house, whatever that means. She got a big house. She must have a back house. He lives in the back house, but they on the same land. So, because that came out because eventually she filed a restraining order and he can't be within 100 feet.
Okay.
So, but the dude live in the back house. She claims that the back house is where he do mushrooms, smoke weed, do weird religious things back there. Every time the baby come from the back house, the baby smell like weed. There's all types of stuff going on, right? So it's like they kind of just trying to dirty each other up. You know what I'm saying? Dirty the mud. And then I think what it seems like is that he wanted to get assistance, even though I don't know if she pays him to live back there. I don't know how this works, or if maybe just hit the situation of him living back there is, I don't know how they work it out. Right. But he needed more. So my man went and got assistance and then claimed the baby on the assistance, right? And I just know this because I've been through this personally. Because they're not going to give him assistance if he's claiming that he got the baby and they know she got the baby. And she's a celebrity. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they like, well, how does this work out? Like, why isn't she...
And when you say, you mean like public assistance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how Kehlani found out about it. She said that's how she was informed. Like once, so she said that because they contacted her and she went to the back house and started raising hell. Like, what are you trying to claim assistance? These people trying to get in my pockets now? Whatever happened there was an altercation of some sort. She kicked him in the house, kicked in the door, whatever the case may be. Now she's claiming that he was the more aggressor. He's claiming, I'll read one of his texts. So he showed her text, right? And he's saying that she busts through her own door in the frame and is trying to like frame him as being the one of doing the abuse. And he's like, I have the paper trail. Sad that she's resorted to lying. And he posts in his stories a text between them. And she's like, Javon, next text was call me now, like ASAP. And then she texts again, emergency. I keep trying to call and it's going to voicemail. He finally texts back, I begged you to leave me alone. I begged you that I didn't want to speak. I ran from your room into the back house. You followed me and barged through the door. I asked you repeatedly that I did not want to talk to you. You said you have to speak to your co-parent. I ran into the bathroom. I said, no, I don't. Please stop. I said, please leave me alone. Because I knew what you were about to do. I said, I am packing. You kept coming. You wanted us to be homeless in the morning. And it goes on. But he's basically texting her, and then she's not really denying it.
Okay.
She's on some like, because he also threatens her at some point. Is like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go, hold on, I'll read the text to you. He's like, I'm going to give you a chance to retract your statement. The one where she's talking about how she's about to sue because everybody's lying. So I'm going to give you a chance to retract your statement before I post everything. And she responds, I'm calling you. I was in rehearsal. Then she goes, I can retract. It's been a 6-hour rehearsal. And then she drops to something in her statement. I did not make a statement nor go to TMZ about my business. Basically, taking back everything she said. Now, this is messy. Now, whatever these kids are going through, we feel bad. Because they've reached a point where now he's trying to paint her as being in a cult of some sort. There's a 5-year-old that's old enough to kind of like start catching on to beef with their parents, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what advice do you have for these crazy kids?
I mean, for those two in particular, they just got to separate. I mean,
stay away from each other, right?
Yeah, because it's clearly not a good situation, and for y'all to be around each other, it's only going to make things worse for the child at the end of the day, and it's not healthy for the child. So if y'all can't get along, y'all need to separate. It's literally that simple. I mean, I don't know, what they're definitely both the parents of that child, right? Like, there's no question in that. So, I mean,
from what I understand, like he's a good father, not social media good, in the sense of like he'll post with his kid. Yeah. I don't know if he's actually a good father,
so
but he's around his kid enough to take pictures with him, is what I'm saying.
Y'all need to, unfortunately, whether it's get the courts involved to figure out a custody situation or whatever the case may be, but it's over at this point. Y'all probably should have never had a kid together to begin with, but shit happens.
There's certain, you don't do things with friends. Like, I get it. You're like, this is a friend, but I think you're using that as a crutch. Yeah. Right? You're supposed to have there's no who you're supposed to have a kid with, but also you could have went to a donor.
Right.
You could have went to a facility and had no one. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's sad to say, but having a kid with someone, like a marriage, is a business deal. Because you will be held for financial responsibility if you don't. So
if this isn't your like bestie, like y'all don't really, if y'all really know each other, y'all been together for a while, and that's your real friend, similar to like a relationship, you don't just have a kid with anybody, you vet these people, and so you gotta make better decisions, people. I understand, even if you're a woman, obviously there's a biological clock, you want a child, obviously, there's sperm banks. If you want to do it with somebody in a co-parenting setting, vet these people appropriately better. Like, make some better decisions, because at the end of the day, the only one that's going to be hurt is the child.
100%. And like, also, I think if you're going to get into this deal, Kehlani, you're the celebrity. You're the money. So you're going to always be a liability, because now this person could just air your dirty laundry. You gotta always no one cares if you aired his dirty laundry,
right? This
is only a story because you're involved, and it's like you gotta compensate that dude to keep him, like, for lack of anything, just to keep him happy. You gotta make sure, and whether she is or she hasn't, that's they know that,
right?
You gotta make sure you're always gonna be beholden to this person,
right?
Which is another reason why you probably would have been better off maybe going to a facility of some sort. Because I don't want to get Republican on y'all, but these situations are made for families. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you shouldn't be in these situations if you're not part of the traditional what we consider to be a family, but it's also it is made for a family structure. it doesn't mean it can't be done alone, and it can't be done co-parenting wise, but ideally that's probably not what we should be trying to
accomplish.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're seeing the other side of it, Kehlani. And it's a sad lesson learned. My advice, expect to get away from each other, and my advice would be like, you can't do these type of interactions.
We see friends. This too often, I mean, with women. And I put it on women because at the end of the day, men are gonna always be men. Men are
trying to take y'all rights away.
And I'm just saying, like,
rights away.
You know, men are dumb, and the women have the power. And y'all need to wake up, grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got the power. What Captain Planet used to say, the power is yours. Like, come on, ladies.
Wait, what you mean? Like, specifically?
Like, they need to have better standards. Like, they just...
Because I don't... You know what I don't like when we generalize? So, like, get specific if you could. Like, what do you mean?
So, generally speaking, right, these women, like, all right, you like a certain type of man, I get it. But you should not be having babies with a certain type of man that ultimately at the end of the day is a fuckboy. Like, because you already know where that's gonna lead. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. Right? You've seen the same story 100 times, it's gonna be 101st time. It's not gonna be any different for you. And so you shouldn't be telling yourself this. You mess with an F-boy, that's what it's gonna be down the line at some point. Period. And so you shouldn't be doing that to yourself or your child.
Yeah, and in Kehlani's situation, it's hard.
And don't say I didn't know he was an F-boy. Yeah, the signs are all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that was really your best friend. You had to see some type of like,
Come on now.
And the other thing, I don't know about him specifically. Some of the behavior that he's exhibited wouldn't surprise me if he suffers from some type of mental illness or sort. But Kehlani has admitted that she does. And like, that's a volatile situation to get into, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she's you know,
that's why I believe the violence piece or like the broken door and all of that.
Because and these people are young, they're younger than us, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn at a young age, like, you kind of got to stay away from that type of thing because you invite that type of behavior, you know what I'm saying? And if both of y'all are suffering from something, then that's definitely a really volatile situation that, you know, and there's a kid involved. Yeah. You got to keep reminding yourself that there's a kid involved. The bigger picture is the kid. You know what I'm saying? And I heard it recently this week for the first time. You know, we always say, like, Kim Kardashian's kids are eventually going to grow up and see the tape. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pam Anderson's kids. Or, you know, anybody. You know what I'm saying? But for the first time, I actually heard it. And it wasn't even in, like, a shameful way. It was Eminem's daughter. She has a podcast now, Haley. And she was talking about 2 songs on his new album that are dedicated to, you know, it was her, and I think it was like his niece or that was their family situation, and it was hard for her to watch. But she's like, I can't watch it again, the music videos, and she was like, it just was like for me to know that was going on while I was a kid. You know, it was really a testament to how much my parents sheltered me away from that type of stuff. But it's like. And I bring that back to like when you do things that are shameful, your kids are going to experience that in some way, shape, or form. Whether they search for it or not. If you told me right now, my parents were famous for like a 5-year period, I'm gonna Google it. Right. So you think that they're not gonna chat GPT it? They're gonna look it up, and it's unfortunately you can't filter what's gonna come through on that search. Right. So you gotta filter how you act in real life. That's the only advice I got for y'all. But no, the Eminem one was because like. That's got to be like, she had to know her dad had struggles, but to the extent, you know what I'm saying, now seeing it and Eminem is such a lyricist / artist that, you know, the visuals to these videos are real, they're jarring, you know what I'm saying? So I get why she had an emotional effect by that. And it really made me think, like, all these people acting the fool nowadays is like, your kids is going to look at that. Like, just whether you like it or not. Like, I'm reaching a point now, you know, my kid is in different programs. She goes to school. I can't shout. She's like us comes on, and she's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like this is my jam kind of. And I'm like, wait a minute, now. You know what I'm saying? But it makes me realize I can't shelter everything. There's gonna be different things that they're exposed to. And
once they leave the house, that's it. Like,
so, and if you out here acting the fool, they're gonna be exposed to that. So just know how you act on the internet. Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy holding it down for the Perfect Talk podcast, man. Thank you so much for checking out this short clip. If you like what you see, go check out the full episodes right there. Also hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, hop in the comments, baby.